포가튼시티 방송 시작합니다. 포가튼시티 더 포가튼시티. 이게 그렇게 재밌다던데. 이 게임엔 음모와 반전이 가득합니다. 콘텐츠를 공유하기 전 시청자들에게 스포일러 경고를 통해 직접 플레이하려는 사람들이 저희 게임을 온전히 즐길 수 있도록 배려해 주시기 바랍니다. 오케이, 알겠습니다. 이 게임은 3명이서 4년 동안 개발했습니다. 여러분의 응원 덕분에 저희가 좋아하는 일을 계속할 수 있습니다. 진심으로 감사합니다. 추리 게임입니다. 심오한 대화와 탐험으로 풀어나가는 재미가 있습니다. 이 도시의 운명은 나의 손에 달려있습니다. 현재
Hey, you're alive. When I dragged you out of the river, I thought you were never gonna wake up. I checked your pockets for ID, a phone, maybe. I hope you don't mind.
핸드폰?
All I found was some loose change. So,
동전?
wanna tell me who you are?
나 누구냐고? 뭔데 이게? 남자와 여자야? 아니지. 호주라는 아니야. 주인으로 하겠다. 아이.
Well, it's nice to meet you. And I'm sorry to pry, but any idea why you were floating down the river? What's the last thing you remember?
아, 그래. 고고학자는 역사 공부를 한 덕에 고대 세계에서 가끔씩 통찰력을 얻기도 합니다. 열발. 법의 손길을 피해 도망치고 있었다. 발놀림이 빨라졌다. 질주 속도. 아, 게임에서 무조건 질주 속도가 답인데. 근데 이거는 대화를 하는 게임이니까 고대요죠.
Oh, you're an archaeologist? Then you'll definitely want to hear this. I don't know if it's exactly what you're looking for, but there are some ruins just behind you. Roman, I think. I need you to go in there and see if you can find the guy named Earl from it. He went in there a few hours ago, and he hasn't come out. I've been freaking out, wondering if he's trapped or injured or worse. I would have gone.
깨어난 사람한테 뭘
He
이렇게.
made me promise to stay here.
아, 여기
No
있으래.
matter what.
나도
There's no way I'm
힘든데.
leaving without him. So I'm just kind of stuck here, waiting. What I mean is, I was hoping you wouldn't mind going in there to find him. If you can do that, I can get both of you back to civilization in my boat. Please? Oh, of course.
그래, 뭐 좀
I don't
물어보자.
mean to be pushy. What do you want to know? Oh, there's not much to tell. Feels like I've spent my whole life in a dead-end job with an endless commute. Know what I mean? Oh, I'd rather not say if it's all the same to you. All right, fine. Sorry if I sounded cagey. It's just that I don't always get the best reactions when I introduce myself. My name's Karen.
카렌?
You're welcome. Always happy to help. Was there anything else you wanted to ask? Oh, there's not much to tell.
아, 뭐야.
Oh, all right, fine. Sorry. Look, if you really want to know all the tragic details,
아, 그래?
perhaps I can fill you in after you find.
오케이. 엘리
He's the
누군데?
guy who washed up on the riverbank not long before you did. I thought maybe you two knew each other. I guess not. But maybe the two of you can piece together what you're doing here. In any case, you'll like him, I'm sure. What?
여기
You really
어딘데?
don't remember? Where
이탈리아
are you?
티베르강이야?
Not much, really. But imagine what you might find in... What am I, an idiot? You could hike a long...
이거 뭔데?
Great. Thank you. The entrance is just past those Oh, and he...
일로 가라고? 아, 이렇게 키라고? 너 거기 그렇게 빤듯이 서 있을 거야?
The ruins are just beyond those columns. Please, hurry.
뭐 구워 먹고 있었어? 간다. 아, 이렇게 달리기. 기본. 일단 게임 저장 한번 하고. 그래픽이 일단 어마어마하게 좋진 않네요. 그냥 추리 게임이니까. 그래도 가방 좀 챙기지.
If you're reading this, it means I've discovered the entrance to an ancient Roman city hidden deep underground. Its existence is long forgotten, all knowledge of it lost, except in the Latin inscription here. It reads, "You who wish to enter the city, step forth and be judged. The virtuous shall be rewarded with eternal life in paradise. The wicked shall find themselves showered in gold, but in vain, for this shall be their final resting place." Could an underground city have remained a secret for all this time? The people have survived down there, against the odds. It seems there's only one way to find out. If I'm not making anymore, I'm somewhere on the other side. Consider this an invitation. Or a warning. Alworth.
엘 워스가 남겼네. 사악한 자는 황금 세례를 맞으나 그것이 최후의 안식처가 되기 헛되도다. 그러게 왜 그럴까? 일단 가보자. 예스. 비밀이 쌓인 도시의 불을 찾아라. 황금이네요. 나 누구냐고? 나 누구냐고? 나는 주인이다. 금으로 만들어? 하나의 죄로 인해 여럿이 고통받으리라. 뭐라는 거야? 이게 비율이 1대1 비율인가? 스케일이? 이야, 이런 게 있어, 여기에. 야, 미안. 황금이 이렇게 많으면은 개꿀 아닌가? 뭐야 이거?
To whoever reads this, I'm sorry you had to find me like this. And worse, that you'll suffer the same fate I did. I've spent a lifetime in this place, going around and around in circles, searching for a way out.
뭐
The
경고라고?
inscription was right. There is no way back. And here there are only two options. Death, or that godforsaken doorway into the past. I made the mistake of stepping through it. I wanted to set things right. And I tried. I really tried. Whatever I did, it took me right back to the beginning. Don't make the same mistake. Better to end it all now. And find out what awaits you beyond that portal.
돌아갈 수가 없다는 이야기잖아. 굳이 돌아가 봐야 될까? 어차피 게임은 해야 되는데. 가자. 들어가야 된다는 거잖아, 무조건. 내 돈 주고 게임을 샀으니까. 과거로 와버렸다. 과거로 와버렸어.
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the Shrine of Proserpina?
프로세르피나? 전 주인입니다.
No idea what you're talking about. Oh, wait. Are you a bit, you know, not right in the head? That's all right, friend. Everyone's welcome here. We
며칠이야?
sort of lose track of the date down here, but it feels like the beginning of spring to me, so I'd say early March? It's 817 AUC. Sorry, you look confused. 817 years since the founding of Rome. Which part of the empire are you from, exactly?
로마 건국 원년 서기 65년.
CE? No idea what you're talking about. But listen, most folks seem a bit confused when they get here, but you seem very lost, and in more ways than one. So let me make this nice and
친절하네.
simple for you. Live by our law here, and we'll all get along just fine. Not laws, law. There's just one, the golden rule, and the punishment for breaking it's, well, it's kind of horrific. But our magistrate insists we take all newcomers to see him, so
Okay,
I guess I'll
알겠어.
let him fill you in. So then, you coming?
가보자.
Follow me. When I first arrived, I couldn't believe there were people living down here. But, as you can see, we've got a nice little community now.
오,
Only
멋지다.
23 of us at the moment, if you count the 3 who are missing. No idea how, since nobody knows a way out.
23명밖에 안 살고 있다고? 3명은 실종됐고.
Aren't you going to introduce me to your handsome new friend, Galerius?
Keep it in your loincloth, Aurelia. I'm taking him to see the magistrate.
That pompous old bore won't be magistrate for much longer. Anyone who helps vote him out today drinks at my bar for free tonight.
Politics. I'd stay clear of it, and her, if I were you. She's, it's not my place to say. Down on your right is our farm, where I grow all the food you'll ever want.
갈레리우스
As
농장이란
long
거.
as all you want is leek, cabbage, and wheat. Huh. That one usually gets a chuckle.
아, 재밌는
bloodless
사람이네.
shadows wander without flesh or bone.
Don't mind Livia.
리비아야?
She means well. She's just been in a bad place since... Well, you know, I don't know what happened to her. Up here on your right is the chasm. If you've got a weapon, it belongs way down at the bottom. Up on your left is the forum, where you can visit the market or get yourself patched up in Lucretia's clinic in the Shrine of Apollo. Most of us have almost nothing, just what we had on us when we arrived, and what we've been able to make and scrounge up since. And this central plateau is where the magistrate and the other patricians live, so don't expect a warm welcome.
Hilarious. You're meant to be working the farm, not trudging dirt into the villas.
Take it easy, Horatius. I was just taking our new friend here to see the magistrate.
Well, he's asked me to escort the newcomer personally. The farm. Go. Now.
You'd better go with him. But just remember, they're not like you and me. Don't let them use you.
What was that? What did you just say?
I said it'll take some getting used to.
Yeah, I'm watching you, farm boy. Greetings, citizen. My name's Horatius. Magistrate Sentius asked me to escort you to him personally. Follow me, please.
판사 센티우스.
Follow me. The only thing you really need to understand right now is the golden rule. Let me see if I can explain it this way. When I was serving in the Legion, if there was a mutiny brewing in one cohort, the legate in charge wouldn't waste time finding the bad apples among hundreds. They just divided us into groups of 10, made us draw straws, and whoever drew the short straw had to be executed by the other 9. Didn't matter whether he'd done anything wrong. One of us in 10 would die for the crimes of the collective. We call it decimation. If that seems like rough justice to you, you're in for a rude shock.
Whatever are you
Because the
wearing?
Golden Row is exactly 10 times worse. The magistrate can explain the rest. He's up these stairs.
We're finally alone. I assume you already know who I am. May I know your name? A curious name, to match a curious accent. But I digress. I see you have the piercing and astute eyes of a man of great learning. We're always happy to welcome another scholar to our little community. Equitia will be delighted to meet you, I'm sure.
키티야 학자야?
Now, you're probably wondering why I summoned you, and I'll get to that. But first, take a look at this wondrous place, would you? A secret city built deep in the mountains, many hundreds of years ago. Indeed. More importantly, consider the miraculous community we've built here over the last 7 months. 22 complete strangers brought together by the fates, living and working together in our own little paradise. And in all that time, not a single sin has been committed. No fights, no theft, nothing. Have you ever witnessed something so extraordinary as a city without sin? Nor could I until I came here. But the reason for this miracle is as simple as it is terrifying. If even one person commits a sin here, every last one of us will die. You see, the builders of this place, whoever they were, left inscriptions warning, "The many shall suffer for the sins of the one." From what we can gather, breaking the law here will anger the gods and provoke a terrible punishment. Like the curses of Medusa and Midas combined, turning us all to gold. We've come to call it the Golden Rule. It's extraordinary that we've survived as long as we have, and each day I grow more and more afraid that our time
가능해, 그게?
is almost up. And now it seems that day is finally here. All that matters is that somebody in this city is about to break the Golden Rule. Why else would Proserpina send you now? Unless you and I can stop them, our doom is assured. I know that's a lot
프로세르피나가
to take
누군데?
in, and you look
아,
like you
신전.
have questions. Please, ask away.
그래, 어떤 행위가 죄야?
An intelligent question. There was a good deal of debate about that in our first weeks here. Does it refer to crimes or to some other ill-defined wrong? Of course, everyone agrees on the basics. No theft, no assault, and certainly no murder. But beyond that, it was more difficult to reach a consensus. What about lying, insulting someone, blasphemy, trespass, trying to escape, bribery, infidelity, suicide? As magistrate, I had to exercise leadership, and so I made a decision. We must uphold the laws of the Empire to a standard never before seen. And we must honor the peace of the gods, the sacred accord between the gods and the people of Rome. It is only by offering the gods the proper respect that we may prosper, as Rome has for centuries.
그 법이 뭔데?
Barbaric? Barbaric? What are you talking about? The Empire is the most civilizing force in the known world. Rome is a beacon of light in the darkness. For 800 years she has borne great statesmen, philosophers, poets, artists, and engineers. We have comprehensive laws protecting the rights of our citizens, which have unified countless warring tribes all across. All our citizens are treated the same, regardless of when our people are starving, they are given food rations, and when they are wrong, our laws forbid treason, murder, assault. No other civilization. Of course. What else would we do with those prisoners of war who would otherwise have been executed? And besides, there are laws for their protection as well. On occasion. But our gladiators are almost all volunteers seeking glory, or condemned prisoners who would have been executed anyway. Of course, but with fewer rights come fewer responsibilities, and the right to be protected by their father. You mean the blasphemous cult responsible for burning down half of Rome last year? Are you talking about our practice of decimation? Of course. We could... Well, right now, I have made... Unfortunately, there are still those here who resist. I would be keeping... You see, in my search for a way to save my people, it's said to open a doorway in time so that if the unthinkable happens, one person can pass through it and travel back to the past. And when I saw you arrive in a flash of light from the goddess's shrine, I knew that person was you. 2,000 years? That is... unfathomable. Please, tell me, in your time. I have imagined it. All I can tell you is that it's a ritual sacrifice to Proserpina. I have to recite a prayer, and of course, as with all rituals, in this case, the sacrifice is rather more I don't suppose you saw any sign of me? I assume that was me. If I'm forced to perform the ritual, it's... Well, I believe you're in the best position to go around. As for me, well, it pains me to say my attempts to impose order have not... The people here would only treat my curiosity with suspicion. Do you ever stare at a problem for so long that what's needed here is a fresh pair of eyes? Me? Why would you suspect me? I've just told you. What reason could... I'm glad you think so. Well, all right. There are those who wish to vote me out of office so that they can... Frankly, their selfishness and recklessness risk destabilizing the entire city. I would be looking very carefully. If I understand Proserpina's ritual correctly, that problem, if you manage to prevent the sin that breaks the Golden Rule, I won't need to bring you here. I won't create the portal, and you will never have been able to come here. Thus, you'll have created a paradox. If this occurs, you
야,
should be
똑똑하다,
thrown
너.
back to your own time, having... Ah, good. So, are you with me? Wonderful. I authorize you to enter private homes and inspect possessions and documents, unless, of course, you're asked to figure out who the culprit. Oh, and one last thing. If I were you, I'd start my investigation by
아폴로 성소 루크레티아,
at the shrine of Apollo
루크레시아.
in the Forum. I heard wailing from there not long ago. Seems like something's not right. If you're snooping around in my possessions, you're wasting your time.
그래. 알겠어.
Don't mind me. I just live here.
누구. 너?
Oh, I wish Horatius would stop letting barbarians in here. I'm Sentia, eldest daughter of the magistrate. But you'd know that. What are you doing? Really? I'd never have noticed, what with your flawless accent. Now, remind me. Ugh, what is it with you people? You heard the rumor that my little sister escaped and figure I must know a way out.
센티아 여동생이 탈출했어.
Well, that's just a stupid rumor. We have no idea what happened to Scintilla. I wish you mouth breathers would just leave me alone. I don't know. Can you? Can you tell me how a person could have disappeared from a city with no exits and no crime? Was she snatched away by the harpies?
하피?
It was 3 weeks ago. We ate our evening meal together and I
사랑에
remember she
빠졌어.
seemed happy. In love. We went into our rooms, I went to sleep, and when I woke up, she was gone.
누구랑?
That's it. I think so, yes. But she was...
몰라.
Because our father had plans to marry her. That doesn't surprise me. To him, it was like a... He's upset, of course. But he says he's too busy with the election to help look for her. So he's letting her in. I don't know. But it's been 3 weeks since she disappeared, and he hasn't... All I know is... You really aren't from here, are you? All Roman women are named... His family name is Sentius, so I'm Sentia because I'm the eldest. And my... Why? Because I'm on this couch and not pacing about the villa, wasting energy. I hope you're not insinuating I'm somehow pleased with her disappearance. Ugh, you're awful.
아, 미안해.
Do I need to ask her? Do I need...
아이씨, 허세를 괜히 부려가지고, 씨.
Isn't the great temple majestic? A new face. Ave, and may Vesta watch
Vesta?
over you. I'm Equitia.
에퀴티아?
To what do I owe the pleasure of this visit? Oh my. I take it people are quite... I suppose it's... Usually, however, you wouldn't simply march up to a Vestal priestess and without due form... The proper approach would be to arrange an introduction through a... And then you would find... But to be honest, I've often thought what an... Let's do it your way. You know, I'm... Karen, you say? Older. I apologize. Have you spoken with any of the... I really think you should. Go around and ask them what they remember. Good. I just don't want to see what happened to Livia happen to you, too.
에퀴티아. 사제. 리비아. 할머니.
Up until a few weeks ago, she was a perfectly productive member of our little community. She was always so chatty, always seeking out. And then she withdrew, stopped working and became despondent, started muttering to herself. Galerius and I visited her to see how we could help.
but she just looked at us with this haunted stare, called us bloodless shadows, and told us we were ignorant of some pattern. Look, it could be unrelated. Perhaps she
Galerius.
simply fell ill. Or, as Galerius suggested, the weight of the Golden Rule was too much for her. But there is a small chance that she learned something, saw a pattern nobody else saw, and that it broke her. I just don't want to see that happen to
근데
you.
네가
So be careful.
나한테 요구했잖아. 너 이상해. 너 이상해.
Thank you. Now, go and follow the thread of truth through this labyrinth, and come back to me. I don't, I'm afraid. It seems to me we're exiled. I'm quite sure it's the work of the gods, which is strange because they've never been particularly concerned with our misdeeds. We asked for blessings, but here it's... I find myself reminded of an especially pertinent Would you like to hear it? Wonderful. It goes like this. Borsis and Philemon were an old married couple living a humble life in a small town. One night, the town gets a visit from a couple of vagrants. They go from door to door, asking for a place to stay the night. Of course, being vagrants, until finally they come to the little cottage where Borsis and Philemon lived. Now the kind old couple had very little. They invite these strangers into their house and offer them. They begin gulping down the old couple's wine. And then she notices something strange. Her wine pitcher says to her husband, Philemon, I think these men are gods in disguise. And the vagrants metamorphosize and reveal themselves to... They confide they didn't mind the meager offerings. They were just pleased that someone in the town offered them hospitality. Then Jupiter says to them, you have passed our test, but everyone else in this city failed, so we are going to destroy this place. So old Borsis and Philemon escape up into the mountains. Meanwhile, Jupiter carried... Some say the moral of that story is that we must all... But I like to think it's that we should always show compassion for those less fortunate than ourselves. I'm pleased to hear it. It must be completed, but it'll be between Sentius, the incumbent, and Malleolus, the challenger.
몰레올루스?
Why do you ask? All of the male citizens who are willing and able to attend. Well, but if it's any consolation, there are... By using whatever gifts... I'm responsible for announcing it. You can, assuming they're eligible and willing to... As I said, I'm planning to hold it before dusk. As you wish. Certainly. And did you notice anything? A pattern? Oh, well then. Keep asking people. Livia's fate. Come back to me. Keeping an eye on things, Horatius?
As always, priestess.
Any news about Scintilla, Navia, or Kabash?
No sign of any of them, I'm afraid. But we do have a newcomer. Strangely dressed fella. Funny accent, too.
A traveler from a faraway land, then?
Seems that way.
Let's make sure he feels welcome, shall we?
Of course, priestess. What now?
형, 너 뒤.
I'm a legionary of the 1st Italica. There's not a lot of fighting down here. So the magistrate has...
쳐다보고 말해라.
duties. I act as the magistrate's right-hand man, keeping an eye on his daughters. Daughter, I should say. And the others. And making sure they're all behaving. I also keep a register of new arrivals. I'm from Liguria, up north originally. I was doing all right for myself. 12 years into my service. Not anymore. She's probably figured I'm long gone and moved on by now. I try not to My commander sent me to deliver a message to Rome. While I was there, that's when the crowd started flooding through the streets, shouting fire. People scream. Then some Genetricum fugitor tried to take advantage of the chaos and pinch my pendant. I remember chasing him through the crowds, down towards the river. I blacked out and woke up near here. No idea how I ended up floating so... Ah, don't be. As Seneca the Younger said, difficulty strengthens the mind, as labor does the body. That said, sent him. He's one of the better commanders I've ever had. Treat your inferior as you would. Can't ask for much more. I went around asking the same questions when I first arrived. To bear trials with a calm mind robs misfortune of...
So Seneca.
I don't see why not. Of course. Well, as I always say, it's kind by threatening to execute 1 in 10 men. The idea, if you knew you could be executed because your brother-in-arms is planning a mutiny. What? Because your only chance of saving yourself. It's brutal, of course, but effective. The Legion. A war crime. Isn't that a contradiction in terms? As Cicero said, in time. Seems that way. War crimes. What's done is done. I was forced to execute my brothers in arms, and as with the Golden Rule, as Seneca the Younger wrote, true happiness is to enjoy the but to rest. If you like. Not that it's any of your business. Unfortunately, see, Domitius has been going around town, shoring up votes for Malleolus with lies, bribery, and intimidation.
도미티우스?
The man's a savage, but he's a gladiator, so people fear and respect him more than they should. Sentius knows about it, of course, but he doesn't have the same rat cunning as Malleolus. This place will be different with that slaves at the helm. But... I appreciate the thought. But you knew... In any case, if you're interested in the election... All right?
Ave again. Come back to me.
로크레티아?
Give me a moment. Sorry I'm such a mess. I just lost a patient and a dear friend. Yulia. She was a good woman. She was poisoned. She came in here frothing at the mouth. Normally I'd treat her with resin of silphium, a rare plant which is perfect for this sort of thing. And I knew Decius had some at his market stall, right around the corner. So I ran over there, but he just looks at me with this evil smile and says, "That'll be 1,000 denarii." There was no way I could afford that, and he knew it. Then that toad shrugs and says, "Supply and anywhere else, I'd just pay a thug to steal it from his stall. But there's nowhere. So all I could do is come back, and now I'll never know who poisoned her, or how they managed to do it without breaking the golden rule, or why she cursed that. Well, unless you have the power, get me that silphium resin. I'm going to have another patient in here soon. Could be in the next day. I don't care how you get it. I swear to the gods below, not even the golden rule will stop me from marching up to that Genetricum fututor and scratching his eyes out."
제네트리컴 퓨투토? 뭐야, 유전적 뭐 그런 거야? 뭐야?
Well, come back if you get sick.
가보자. 데시우스.
Salve. Salve, stranger, and welcome to our idyllic... Terrible shame what happened to Yulia. Certainly. All right. That's hardly my concern. But if you get a job, work... Oh, it's perfectly legal. Simply a question of supply and demand, I'm afraid. Hear what? You sure you're feeling all right? If you're hearing things, perhaps you should pay a visit to Lucretia's clinic. We don't want another Navier on our hands.
나이비야, 한청.
She claimed the statue was whispering to her. Nobody else could hear it. Then she shut herself in the palace and... But I digress. Do you want this Silphium or not? Well, if you did that, you'd break the golden rule.
가져가면 어떻게 되는데?
Don't you dare. Ah, back again, I see. You mean how did I end up here? That is a lengthy tale. All right. Well, you see, I'm in the business of procuring mostly sculptures, vases. Had myself a nice little shop in Rome, just off the Forum. Lots of foot traffic and close to the docks. Good place to be when the fires broke out. See, about 7 months ago, half of Rome caught on fire. Everyone who couldn't get to an outer gate was running for the river, open to escape by barge. So all the way down to the river, I'm elbowing for a stampede of people. But, to my surprise, we make it. But the captain's happy to take my coin. So I start boarding, and then he puts his hand on my chest and he says, "No, too heavy. The cart or the girl." So I did what anyone would have done. The girl? Weren't you listening? I mean, I can always buy a new slave girl if I still have my money. So I put my hand on the cart, and I guess she realised what was happening because those pretty black eyes of hers go all wide. And in one swift motion, she topples the whole bloody thing into the Tiber. No, I dived in after it, of course. Aren't you paying attention? Only, I guess I must have hit my head. When I came to, I'd washed up on the riverbank, not far from here. I couldn't agree more. I mean, sure, I'd lost a few thousand denarii, but I've already made it back. This place is a veritable... Look around you. There must be more gold in here than in the... I'm afraid not. If you're desperate, I did hear that Aurelia down at the tavern claims to know of a way out, but I'm not sure I trust her. Some people here are a little shady for my liking.
Aurelia.
Oh yeah, gotta watch out. Old Dacius has got you backed up. It's terrible for inflation is what it is. There's so much gold. Of course, I have an idea for generating I've scoured this city from top to...
뭔 소리야, 이 새끼는?
Oh, well, technically yes. No need to decide on it. Malleolus. I mean, Sentius couldn't even keep his daughter safe. What hope does he have of protecting us?
말레올로스 편이네.
Not going to happen. Very well.
가져가면 어떻게 되는 거야? 궁금한데? 그냥 가져가 보고 싶은데 가져가라면서. 큐티야.
Hey, Virgil, how much would you want to make me a bow?
For the last time, Daces, I'm not making you a bow.
But why?
You know why.
But how am I going to defend myself against someone else with a weapon?
There are no other weapons in the city. We all went along with the magistrate's weapons ban, so it wouldn't be an issue.
That's why I've got to get in first before someone else beats me to it.
Ah, a new face. Salve, and welcome to a little community. My name's impossible to pronounce for most people, so you can just call me Virgil. You arrived on a sad day, friend. What with Julia's death? I wish we could have met up. Well, I'm an architect. Or help out with repairs, but you probably don't want to hear. Oh, I'm glad you asked. Some of these shrines were constructed 100, but there's one thing that puzzles me. Or it could mean that there were Greeks living and worshipping. Who really built? If only there was a way we could... Gladly. Personally, they're an ingenious feat of Roman engineering with a very practical purpose. It's funneled below the palace, and the rest is funneled to the shrine of Proserpina, where it fills the lake. And the... Hey, not so loud. I'm not saying it's impossible, but you'd have to find a way inside somehow. Just, please, try to be a bit more discreet about it.
베르겔은 건축가고 수로를 통해서 탈출할 수 있는 방법.
You mean the Great Temple? This one's a bit of a mystery, given the way it's positioned so prominently, looking down on us. Unfortunately, you see, usually a temple is dedicated to a particular god. There's an obelisk out the front, which probably used to bear the name of this unknown god. And of course we can't get inside because it's locked up tighter than the Temple of Saturn in Rome. And that contains, so we're all left wondering, which god is that temple unless somebody figures out a way inside. Of course. You wouldn't believe how there are much worse places to live. But once you get used to the fear... Oh, I just mean I grew up in the Batavi tribe, far to the north in Novium. They weren't near... Some people say it's divine. I mean, once you've been here long enough, you'll notice people doing things, which means one of two things. And I'm pretty sure I know the difference. Good. Then the first is to leave. Good question. It's best if I say no more, but I hope you'll give it some thought.
권좌에서 끌어낸다?
Oh, it means someone thinks I'm a sinner, and that I'm going to break the golden rule. Look, I haven't done anything wrong, if that's what you're thinking. Somebody... Hey, nothing gets but... Sorry, that was me. And when you grow up in the north, as I did, in the city, I saw enough friends, so I hid who I was for. But needless to say, since I'm now living, my openness didn't go down well among the... In any case, the Romans are far more or at least it's not... The strange thing is, I've never really been interested in any of the men here. If I had to guess... Strange bunch. They insist there's only one god, and that He considers my nature a sin. Can you believe? If there are any of them here, they won't admit it. Not since they sub. All I know is if these threats keep escalating, What? Really? I'm glad you arrived when you did. Someone who lives or works in the... But if you find them, please don't hurt our human... Well, Malleolus is talking about loosening some of... My vote isn't for sale.
얘도 말레올로스한테 투표하네. 게이고. 근데
Nice to talk to you.
이게 비싸지만 또 나쁜 내고 내가 이걸 가서 선함을 행하는 거잖아? 선함을 행한다는 것은 가져가도 된다는 이야기지.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Run!
뭐야, 진짜네. 그래, 좋아. 가보자. 어딘데, 지금? 뭔데, 이게?
Salve, friend. I'm Galerius. Mind telling me who you are and what you were doing in the shrine of Serpina? I don't think... Oh, Bacchus, how much did I drink last night? Oh, and since you seem to be in a hurry...
뭔데, 이게?
Just attach the pulley to the rope over the lake, and if it doesn't work, worst thing that can happen is you'll take a swim in the lake. I haven't quite summoned the courage to, but don't worry. All right.
오호! 아하, 땡큐. 잠깐만, 루크레시아? 내가 가지고 있어? 실패용 수지를 가지고 있네?
What are you doing in here? Can't you see this woman is dying? She's been poisoned. She needs the resin of a plant called Silphium, but that Kulas... What? Yulia? Hopefully in a... That was extraordinary. How did you know she needed this exact... A what? I'm sorry. That was like the... You just saved a person's life, and you should be proud. And maybe she can tell us who poisoned her, and who she meant when she was muttering about that snake's cruel black eye. In the meantime, I'm Lucretia, and I'm going to... My husband and I moved to Rome from Caesarea. He embraced. I would have divorced him and demanded the return of my dowry, but so I waited for the right time. As he prepared to evacuate our villa, I gathered our most precious belongings. I could barely see for the smoke. The next thing I remember... It's all right. Say what you will about this place. At least my fornicating husband will never find me. And while there's no shortage of snakes here, at least... Oh, this shrine was in use as a clinic. Kind of strange to set up a clinic in the temple of the god of disease. But the god who inflicts a curse is also the only god who can undo it. So I suppose praying to Apollo... Well, she used to run the clinic. She was a midwife, not a physician. But she was until she suddenly lost all interest in us. One day she told me she'd made some profound discovery about the golden statues. This changes everything, she kept saying. But I had no idea what she was talking about. The last time I saw her, the last time any of us saw her, she was muttering to the statues, like she could talk to them. And then she shut herself in the palace, barred the door from the inside, and nobody's seen her since. She's been gone so long now, we figure she's either dead or up to something so strange that she doesn't want anyone else to know about it. But I really wish I could reach her, because that's the only hope I have of solving a troubling problem. One of my patients is suffering from terrible... I really shouldn't say. He's become so irritable that the smallest things set him off. And I worry I just know Nevia would know how to treat him. Really? That would be wonderful. Feeling all right? Sure. What? Do you really want to know? Gladly. Oh no. But that was... Well, He's become so... Thanks. I wish. Some people here need proper medical care. Just don't get sick or... A city without sin, but snakes like dead abs... That's a...
Wonder how much one of these statues is worth on the outside. Salve, stranger, and well...
베르길? 베르길 협박.
I don't, I'm afraid. But I did overhear Fabia telling Georgius she saw something. She was headed to the baths not long ago.
공장 시민들 상해주가 되어가는 베르길이 있어. 베르길을 위협하는지 알아봐라.
Very well.
May Apollo keep you safe.
Help! You have to do something! A man arrived in the baths. You have to do something, or he's gonna break the golden rule. None of us do. The magistrate made us throw them all into the chasm. So now you'll just have to... Thank you. I have to hide. Hear what? What? shrine is...
아, 안 돼!
Help! You have to do something. A man arrived in the baths. You have to do... Thank you. I have to hide. What? We don't...
안 돼, 가지 마!
The shrine!
Fabia, no! Oh God, she's dead! Did anyone see that? The whole shrine just collapsed on her! Oh, Fabia, why did you have to go in there? Poor sweet girl!
Stop right there. I'm looking for Tiberius Quinctius Crispus, otherwise known as Quinctius. Do you know where he is?
퀸크티우스가 누구야?
I'm not sure I believe. I am here with orders from Emperor Nero himself. So, if you tell me the truth, I will allow... Is that understood? Thank you. Now tell me. A small community. I was told Quinctius was a cultist, but I never thought he'd be foolish enough to lead me... Oh, don't play coy with me. I don't care if you're worshipping Bacchus, always sneaking off to your secret. The Emperor may have tolerated your You say that, but if you're not... So you admit you're not allowed to leave. Threatening me is not going to... That sounds... And I saw the inscription saying, the many shall... You've clearly been indoctrinated. Now tell me, where did you... You lot are practicing human... Of course you'd say that, but that's what your kind do. It's all what baff. However, you still have a chance to redeem. Do you have any last words? You'd now, once I'm done with you and Quinctius, and I can think...
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
뭐야?
Salve, friend. Mind telling me who you are and why you... Oh. Yulia? Oh, no. I'll go, but once I'm done, I'll need you to tell me how you know all of this.
Ah, a fellow traveler from a faraway land.
활을 찾으라고?
Oh, the murder. Malleolus isn't receiving visitors at the moment. Her name's Domitius. You want to get to Malleolus? You... Too bad. I'm glad you asked. See, left me strict instructions he... Dunno. Bribe? That's such an Just make... When Malleolus... I think it's gone on long enough. And Malleolus... He's going to announce... We've already lined up the votes he needs to win. Malleolus, of course. Whatever. Hey, Horatius. How's it feel knowing your man's
Ugh, this place has become a thoroughfare.
Not even the golden rule is gonna protect you. Got it?
As if I'll be afraid of you, little man.
어디로 가야 되지? 여기 처음 와보는 길 같은데?
Salve.
그이는 그들을 귀를 통해 듣는다.
Help! You have to do something. Are you serious? This isn't... Are you go... Thank you. I have.
아니, 가지 마.
What? All right.
그래, 저기 안에 있다고 하면 되겠다.
Stop right there. Thank you for your service to...
거짓말은 아니네.
Filthy, lying degenerate.
빵집이 어디 있는데?
You there. I'm sorry to trouble you, but I couldn't help but notice that fine bow you're carrying. No idea how you managed to get your hands on it. And before you ask, no, but I would... Tell me, do you have any idea how people... And here I was thinking I was the only one to... Supposedly, one or two of those arrows is enough to turn a foot. Now, of course, that is a travesty. A terrible I can't help but think of a tale told by... With the ability to transmit... Use your imagination. And even if we were to split all those riches between the two of us... Look, I might have skimmed over that one, but... Oh, I'm not suggesting we use such a bow on... Excellent. So the first question is, now, I have a plan, but... No problem. Diana is our goddess of the hunt, the moon. The one thing priests and poets agree on is that she carried with her a golden bow and a quiver of golden... And it just so happens that there is a shrine of Diana. And would you like to guess? Precisely. I can't tell you how many hours I've spent in that temple staring at it, trying to figure out how to retreat. Oh, gods, no. No, here's what I propose. You give your bow to me. I cover it in a thin... Then you enter the shrine, extinguish the braziers, and under cover of darkness... But make no mistake, this is a dangerous... But in my experience... Now, you must... Because the gods would see you... I'm more of an ideas man. When Prometheus stopped... Only because he was silly enough to get caught. So, eh? Are you sure? Wonderful. Now, if you'll hand over your bow, I can get stuck. This is a... And here we are. Now, I've gone and unlocked the Shrine of Diana. It's just at the end of the street on the left. May the gods not watch over you.
뭐야?
Greetings and salutations.
어떻게 바꿔치기 하는데? 어떻게 바꿔치기 하는데? 불화살을 만들어 쏜다? 저기에 맞춘다? 뭔데? 어떻게 하는 건데? 일단 꺼서 여기 위로 올라가? 아, 이렇게 하라고? 어? 뭐야 이거? 우와. 남의 비야?
My beloved Galatea.
갈라테이아.
I write this so that one day, when we're finally together, you will understand what I've done and why I had to do it. The others will call me mad or a monster, but I don't care what they think. Everything I'm doing here, I'm doing for you. I'll start at the beginning. Soon after my arrival here, as I walked down a corridor lined with golden statues, I thought I heard a whisper behind me. A rasp of air, as if vocal cords of metal strained to say a word or two. I tried to dismiss the idea, tried to concentrate on my work as the city's medic, but that tortured whisper haunted me. Weeks later, In the hallway to the bathhouse, I heard it again and found myself drawn to the statue of a Roman woman wearing a stola. Her face was contorted with anguish and fear, and disturbingly, it was as if she was looking right at me. As I walked past her, I heard that strained whisper again, and turning back, I discovered that even though I had moved, she was still looking right into my soul. That was when it dawned on me. This was no statue. This was a woman trapped within that golden prison. Naturally, I told the others, but when I could not reproduce the results of my experiment, they would not believe me. But from that moment on, I knew the full horror of this place. Immobilized within these statues are living, human beings. It was that day, my love, that my heart broke.
어?
You're not supposed to be here.
뭐야? 너한테 화살이 안 통해? 죽지도 않아? 큰일이다.
You're not supposed to be here.
뭐야, 어떻게 가야 되는 거야? 문 열어줘! 문 열어줘. 오지 말고, 오지 말고, 오지 마, 오지 마. 얘들아, 오지 마. 오지 마, 얘들아. 와, 뭐야, 어떻게 가는 거야, 씨. 아, 그래.
supposed to be here?
뭘 금으로 만들라는 거야? 뭘 금으로 만들라는 거야? 여기? 아,
Help us.
Help me.
Help me.
아, 꽃병을 뭐 어떡하라고?
My beloved Galatea, after I learned the terrible truth about the golden statues, I wandered the city as if in a nightmare. What must life be like for these poor souls, entombed in gold, but kept alive somehow? Trapped in their own personal Tartarus, consigned to eternal torment, too horrific for any sane mind to comprehend. I tried to offer them what small mercies I could. I began to talk to them, to keep them company. I'd imagine backstories for them, give them names, and tell them of the world, of the histories and stories I'd learned as a child. As the others became more concerned by my charity, I sought solitude from them, preferring the company of my tormented charges. Discovering a way into the abandoned palace, I began to spend my days walking its halls and sharing with its occupants ancient tales, my mind turning to those of Apollo and Daphne, Perseus and Medusa, and Pygmalion and Valkyrie. Pygmalion, the sculptor who fell in love with a beautiful statue, and who, praying to Aphrodite for aid, discovered that his beloved Galatea had come to life. It was then that I heard you whisper to me, Galatea. Forgive me. I know that is not your real name, just one I have borrowed from a story. But when I turned to look at you, I saw the most exquisitely beautiful woman I had ever known. Your face, forever frozen in a look of haunting silence. Our meeting gave me new purpose, to free you from your golden prison, so that I might one day hear you speak, not just your true name to me. So I gathered tools for the long and difficult task ahead, barred the doors to this place, and set to work.
아! 아, 안 돼. 갇혔어.
Kill me.
뭐지? 어떻게 해야 되지? 그러니까 우와!
And you must be the wretched snake who broke into my palace and disturbed. Look at what you made me do to her. You're going to pay for that. And you think I care about that? I don't care what. Liar! I locked and barred the gate. I left a message, and now look at her. You made. All I wanted was to spend my last moments with her. But as soon as I began my work, she stopped whispering to me. What's so What do you mean, the same voice? Yes. I remember when they used to... But now that I think about it... But if these bodies are mere conduits for that... Wait! You're trying to steal her away from me. Liar! Give me one good... What? Wait. So I did all this. I ruined her. For nothing. What? It's the air. Coming into contact with her flesh. It's but the only way to fix it.
아니야.
That way she'd be golden again. And we'd be together. It's too late. There's nothing you can do. I have to do... What? 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 The goddess of the cycle of life and renewal. I see. Well, I'll trust you to honor our bargain. But if you don't, mark my words, I'll break. The treatment for rheumatism is willow bark. Now, please leave. The door... Go.
그럼 어디로 가야 됐지?
How come you're allowed a weapon and I'm not?
여기 어디였는데?
You took care of him? An accident? I do have a question. So you...
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
Which one of you
아, 그래? 아씨. 어이없네. 뭐야.
Go, and never return.
Sometimes I stare at the great temple on the bluff, and I think, whatever is in there.
그럼 뭐라고 얘기해야 돼? 파비아 어딨어?
Greetings and salutations.
You... And I do... I don't Oh, I see. I promise, nobody else will ever know... Oh, speaking of which, welcome. I'm Fabia. Sorry I was a bit frantic before. Oh, there's not much... I suppose it all started about... My pa had just arranged a husband for me. A fisherman's son. It was about... I spent the next week in bed. Pa paid priests to make offerings to a split. In the end, they decided I'd do better outside the city. But after about a day, and I remember closing my eyes for a bit, and I guess I must have fell asleep. I suppose the driver took off with his fee and left me for dead. Can't say I blame him. I wouldn't have wanted to catch what I had either. Anyway, I went searching for help, stumbled across the trapdoor temple, and here I am.
아, 그게 파비아야?
It's nice of you to say, but you should save your sympathy. What? You've been here a few moments and you're good people here. Galerius, my friend Georgius is always mending our clothes, and Virgil make... Well, I'm just saying. Well, I can tell from your... Oh, I try not to... Thanks. And I like your and I'm sure he'll be just across the forum in his shop. Terrible shame, that is. Maybe this'll help. Late last night, I was cleaning the forums usually, to be honest. I thought maybe poor old Dooley had got out, so I put my head out and saw someone in front of Virgil's shop. I called out to them, but all I remember is they ran past a lit torch, and the light glinted off something metallic. Armour, I think. So I suppose it could only be one of three people. Horatius, Domitius, or Rufius. I hope that helps. All right. Thanks.
그녀가 누군데? 여기야? 뭐야 여기는? 여긴 어디야? 내가 아까 왔었던 데야? 맨 처음에 왔었던 데잖아. 그러게 맨 처음에 왔었던 데네.
Sometimes I stare at the great temple of the earth.
Oh, hello there, partner. You see, my plan was to give you a little fry, you know, like two, but when I opened it, you... Partner, this... Yeah, well... Don't even talk to me.
아, 이렇게 나오는구나.
Feeling all right? You made it into the palace. Willowback, I should have known. It was under my nose the whole time. I have some right here. Could you do me a favor and give him some of this? He'll just need to swallow a pinch of it. Thank you. That's a shame.
어디로 가야 되는데?
A golden bowl.
Sorry,
Just like
I'm
a Apollo in
still.
Diana.
Was there something you wanted? As much as I'm grateful that you tried to help me. The golden rule. That's the least of my worries. Please. Persistent as... All right. I'd been here about a week.
when it dawned on me I'd be trapped here for the rest of my life. So when my new friend Aurelia offered me a secret way out, I would have done anything. She was supposed to be my friend, so she suggested I take out I had to sign an agreement, saying I'd work off the debt over 30. I paid Aurelia. Hemlock. It's a deadly poison. Drink this, she said. She pointed to a sign on her tavern saying, "Let the buyer beware." Then she just looked at me with the... She immediately told Malleolus I'd tried to escape without paying him back. In fact, he just thanked her. That's what I said. I went to Sentius and begged for help, but he said the law was clear. I'd signed over my labor for I thought about resisting too. But Malleolus said if I didn't submit, I'd break the gold. He locked me in his villa, confiscated everything I owned as collateral, and made me wear immodest. His wife Claudia was just as bad. I'd be on my hands and knees, scrubbing the floor clean for hours. Those two took everything from my hemlock. I just wanted it to be over. I brought it on myself. When I've recovered, I expect their thug Domitius will come. Only this time, honestly, it would have been... I doubt it. At least until someone breaks... A lot. But it doesn't matter. He's in exactly the same position as I am. He's probably already thrown himself from the bluff into Malleolus's... If so, I'd never be able to... I doubt you could make it up. I don't know who you are.
How come you're allowed a weapon?
Citizen?
어떻게 올라가? No.
Salve, friend. I'm Octavia. Welcome to life under the Golden Rule. It's a go. All right, well, it was lovely to meet you.
I can't believe this is how it ends.
Oh, no. No. No, 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 no. Ulpius, what are you doing? Get back from there.
That's the idea.
What?
Why do you think I'm stuck?
I know things. Please, please just think this through.
I'm sorry, but I...
Please, Ulpius. Help. Thank you.
Let me guess. You're going to lecture... You're not going to trick me. Like what? I'm stuck slaving away for that Culus Cumulatis for the rest of my life. You're just saying that to buy. You must... I'm out. Wherever you are. Scintilla, my love. I'm sorry.
Ulpius, no! I can't believe he went through with it. Oh, Lord. That was not your fault. Well, I suppose it means suicide isn't... I'll have to let everyone know what happened. And I'd best pray for poor...
Name's Rufius. Better watch your step. What business is that of yours? Willow bark. And this will work? Oh, thank God. Finally, some relief. This is what I've been praying for. I've been in a lot of pain. It was too much. I can't talk long. Got to station. Families from Seleucia and Tigris. Babylon province. But I've been roaming a lot. Not sure. I was fighting with the Sixth against Parthians in the east. It was the rheumatism. Relentless. So I started thinking. Next battle came. And then nothing. I woke up by the river. Some strange man in an eagle headdress. Are you calling me a liar? I just opened.
아니야.
I have nothing to say to you, kaput man.
아이씨.
Citizen, I have nothing to say.
내가 너를 새끼야.
I have not.
내가 쟤를 구해줬는데 저 새끼가.
Citizen.
아이씨.
The many shall suffer for the sins of the one.
After everything we've built,
Salve, friend. Mind telling me who... Oh. Yulia? Oh no. Poor guy. My uncle... Alright, let me see. Stop Fabia going in, but send the new arrival... I'll go, but...
Greetings and salutations.
How'd you do?
Hey, Virgil, how much would you want to make me a bow?
For the last time, Dacius, I'm not making you a bow.
But why?
You know
Greetings and salutations. Greetings. I'm Georgius. It gladdens me to see another foreigner in our midst. We must stick together, and I must say, leather boots in place of sandals? I have traveled, and never... Is this a riddle, or perhaps you mean to say you... We will have much... My story? How kind... You mean to say, with all the turmoil and... I'll tell you, it is... I say, the more of our cup... Oh, if we all end up as golden statues for future generations... A good question. A very good question indeed. And... I render... And now, I have had this time when I regain... Indeed. In any case, I went to find firewood for his campfire, stumbled across a cave, and discovered that trapdoor temple. And here I am. Anything you like. I hope that...
빨리 활 찾아야죠. 활.
Hello again, my son. Shh. Have you not been... Oh. Of course, the first and scaling the chasm wall is... But as they say, if the wind fails, use the oars. And here the second option is to leave the way we came in, through the sap. See, the shaft is quite high. But if one gathered up... They have. I am getting to that. There was an attempt. They even decided to keep records of their escape attempt for posterity. Unfortunately, as soon as they began to carry the first ladder down the hallway, they heard a godlike voice shake the entire city. And so it seems that to merely attempt escape is to invite the wrath of witch. Ah, yes. Have you not heard the tale of the god Hades? He was the first to learn this. When Demeter, the mother of Persephone, learned of this, she did not punish Hades, the guilty one. Innocent people died by the tens of thousands until at last... So yes, we know this rule. This has always been the case. The golden rule has merely broken. If we are to survive, I say we must each keep the simple wisdom of Thales of Milk. Avoid doing what you would blame others for. It does, doesn't it? But for even if 99%, sadly, no matter how well we protect. But on for all their grim and haunting poses, that, my friend, is quite the dilemma. But after some I do not enjoy the thought of another visit. Nothing. I hope.
Welcome. Feeling all right? That's a shame. Thanks again for saving Yulia's life. Apollo smiles upon.
일단 여기까지.